Tucson Toros Group Yahoo Fantasy Baseball Week 10 action. We're going to take a look at Waveland and Sheffield taking on AZ Padres in Week 10 action. Waveland and Sheffield walks away with a victory here, 6-4 in a tight battle. Waveland is now 52-40-8 on the year, while AZ Padres falls to 48-42-10. For Waveland and Sheffield, this is the first winning streak of the season for this team, has won 2 straight weeks now. AZ Padres loses for just the 3rd time all season, ending a 2-week victory streak. For AZ Padres also, it's just the 2nd week out of the first 10 weeks of the season where AZ Padres didn't at least force a tie in one category. The king of ties wasn't able to force a tie this week. For Waveland and Sheffield, season highs in runs and strikeouts this week, but unfortunately season low in home runs for the week. Also, Waveland and Sheffield had 3 wins from the pitching staff this week, just 2 wins in the previous 3 weeks combined. So turning things around on the pitching staff, that's definitely good to see. AZ Padres set a season low in wins and had season low in strikeouts to go with the worst ERA and whip category of the year. So just a bad week for AZ Padres, but still walked away with a decent loss. 6-4 is a decent loss in fantasy baseball, so AZ Padres should at least be satisfied that they took 4 categories despite some of the pitching woes. On offense, AZ Padres took 4 out of the 5 categories, lost the runs category, but 3 of the battles were really close, so Padres was fortunate there. On the pitching side, though, Waveland managed to sweep all 5 categories. None of the battles were really that close. There was even a really ugly battle in the ERA category that fell the way of Waveland as well. With the bats, AZ Padre was really impressive this week. An offensive explosion has really come out of this team in the last few weeks. 6 players hit a homer. 7 players had an average of 300 or better. This team has had a great average the last couple of weeks. Adrian Gonzalez had 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, hit 400 for the week. 7 players had at least 3 RBIs or more. Garrett Jones was a 5-category star this week. He had 4 runs, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, 2 stolen bases. He hit 333 for the week. Waveland and Sheffield, though, had 11 players with at least a run, 7 players with 3 or more, 9 players with 3 or more RBIs, 5 players hit a homer. None of them hit more than 1, though, so nobody had a multi-homer week. 5 players hit over 300, but none of the players hit over 400, so the average wasn't that exceptional for Waveland this week. Healthy Ivan Rodriguez is still on the DL on Waveland's roster. That's something that team's probably going to want to take a look at. Pudge Rodriguez was reactivated with the activation of Steven Strasburg for the Nationals, so getting Pudge back in the lineup might be something that Waveland and Sheffield would want to take a look at. Sheffield also had Alfonso Soriano. He hit 100 for the week. Albert Pujols, no homers, hit 136 for the week. And Jason Hayward, no homers, 226 average for the week. So some of the source of power as of late was really shut off this 1 week here. Waveland dominated the pitching side, though, swept all 5 categories, had wins from Zach Greinke, Felix Hernandez, and Carlos Zambrano back in the starting rotation and actually winning games now, so that's huge for Waveland and Sheffield. Unfortunately, though, all 3 of those guys had an ERA over 5 for the week. That's not going to help out across the board. Picking up the wins is good, some of the strikeouts definitely good, but blowing up that ERA isn't going to help the cause. Zach Greinke had 18 strikeouts. Felix Hernandez had 14 strikeouts for the week. Kevin Millwood, he had 10 strikeouts for the week for Waveland and Sheffield, but he had an ERA of 11.45. So with some of the success in the win and strikeout columns, the ERA category really got blown up this week. 5 pitchers for the team overall. Waveland and Sheffield had an ERA over 5. 4 pitchers with a whip under 1, though. So things really swung. The pendulum really swung in both directions for this pitching staff this week. 5 saves, though, from 4 different closers, so that definitely helped anchor some of the staff. AZ Padres only managed 1 win as a staff. That was Josh Johnson. He had a 0 ERA and a whip of 0.5 for the week, so he was fantastic. 7 pitchers, though, had an ERA over 4. 3 pitchers had a whip over 2, so the ERA and whip numbers for AZ Padres was not very good either. And a total anomaly occurred this week. Matt Thornton, I'm sure AZ Padres is well aware of his performance this week. He had an ERA of 135 with a whip of 15. Now, we went ahead and took a look further into what happened with Matt Thornton this week. He made 1 appearance during the week. He gave up 5 earned runs and 3 hits in just 1/3 of an inning. One of those hits was a home run, and he walked 2 batters. So you want to see how you get an ERA over 100, ask Matt Thornton. He can tell you. Chad Billingsley also didn't help the cause from the Dodgers. He had an ERA of 11.12 for the week. Moving forward, though, Waveland and Sheffield's now 5th in the standings, 12.5 games out of first. Going to be taking on second place Jimmy Dugan this week. That's going to be a big matchup between 2 of the top teams in the league. While AZ Padres now sits 8th in the standings, just half a game out of 6th, though. We currently have a tie for 6th place in the standings, so just a half a game out of 6th place is huge for AZ Padres. Going to be taking on a real tough team, though. Going to be taking on Grassy Knoll this coming week, so another big matchup. So both these teams are going to come out of this matchup 6-4 and head into really tough matchups next week as well. We'll get to see if Waveland can carry the momentum and if AZ Padres can get some of that momentum that they lost back.